Hello, good morning. We're not quite on the afternoon yet. It's really warm again here in Essex. Very warm indeed. I have some nice things planned for this afternoon, so that's lovely. But I wanted to come on and talk to you about, do you think that you are wading through treacle at the moment? Because do you know what? I mean, what a year. What a year. We have had this so far this year. What a year. And we are being bombarded, left, right and centre with different information, with different things that we were just not aware of before. And some people were aware of it. Some people have been sharing a message. Some people have been sharing, their truth. And they've said, haven't they, that 2020 is the year of awakening. It's the year where we come out of this cycle that we've been in, whereby we literally are just on the treadmill of existence. Because that's what it feels like, doesn't it? That's what it feels like. And we're being bombarded with so many different things that are just totally out of our control. And in some respects, a lot of people are going to be feeling that deeply, that they cannot seem to be able to do anything about some of the things that are going on in this world. And consequently, what we're having a barrage of information just literally constantly in our sight. Now, you don't get it from the mainstream media, because the mainstream media are not talking about some of the real issues that are going on in this world. Yes, they are talking about COVID and that type of thing that's related, but some of the things that are going on this year have been really dramatic, to say the least. It's like we've been living in some kind of parallel universe. To me, that's what it feels like. I've been spiritually awakened for quite a long time, but there's stuff I've learned this year that has just made me just stop and go, bloody hell, why haven't we been told about this stuff? Why do we not know it's going on? And what's also happened with this, the pandemic, is it's caused these sudden, dramatic changes in our life. And I mean truly sudden and dramatic changes, where we again feel like we have no control, But the thing is we actually have more control than we are giving ourselves credit for. We have more control than we are giving ourselves credit for. It's a matter of finding your trust. Finding your trust in your own ability to hold on to your mind. And I mean literally. And to make the right adjustments to your life when you get the awareness that you get, so that you don't live in cognitive dissonance. But it's also about letting go. We have to let go of what was. We have to let go of what was, because that doesn't exist anymore. The past doesn't exist anymore. All we have now is the moment that we live in. And to be fair, right now, we don't even have a future. If you think of time, there is no past, there is no future. There's only the moment that you're in right now. That's the moment that you're in right now. That's time. That is time. And we have to learn to live in this moment, but we have to learn to let go. We have to learn to let go of the past, because we cannot bring it with us. And if we do, we are living in a warped world. We're not living in the terms of the real world, because reality is what's happening to you right now in this moment. That is your reality. That is your reality. And as you're being bombarded left, right and centre with all of this stuff and all of this awareness, your mind's going on overtime. So you've got to learn to hold on to that. Don't let that run away with you, you know? And we need to move forward. We need to move forward from this point, and we need to embrace the change. We need to embrace the change. And we can only do that by living in this moment. And when you live in this moment, you get to create a different moment to come. You know, think about it. We've been forced into situations that are very unnatural for a lot of us. And we've been in these little tiny bubbles, as they've called them, bubbles. And you would be in situations that you tried hard to get away from previously, because we are conditioned by family and our close peers. It's all part of navigating through the human existence that we are. And we are brought up on different beliefs to what we may have now, that we hold true to ourselves right now. And before all of this was going on, we would have been living our life true to our own belief system, not necessarily to the belief system that we were brought up in, that we grew up in. And what that's done is it's caused a lot of cognitive dissonance with people, because they're around individuals that they don't necessarily hold the same values as. You don't necessarily have the same morals as these people, and you don't have the same principles as these people. But it doesn't mean to say you don't love them. It doesn't mean to say you don't love them. But once you've flown that nest and you're learning to live your life according to your own principles and your own morals and your own foundations, and that's what you're building, you've moved away from the old. But we've been catapulted back into the old. And it's been a bit of a struggle. Which means you would also be around people that are restricting your freedom of thought, your freedom of expression, and restricting you standing in your own strength and power. Because you start to compromise. You'll be compromising because you don't want to have the argument. You don't want to have the heated debate. You start to compromise. And before you know it, you're going to be back at a space that you have tried so hard to get away from. And you moved away from that when you grew and developed as an individual. And if that's the case, you know, you've got to stand in your own truth. You've got to stand in your own strength, because there is really nothing to fear. There is really nothing to fear. Fear and living in fear of being able to speak your truth and stand in your own strength, and fear being projected on us by what's going on in the world, causes us and our bodies to go into this protection mode. And prolonged periods of living in fear cause really detrimental effects to the body and the mind. And when we're in that space, our body naturally changes the way we breathe. Naturally. Because it's reacting to the emotion of fear and the energy of fear. And what we do is we start to breathe really shallow. So we're only breathing in up to a certain part of our lung capacity. And in some instances, we hold our breath in fear, where we feel polarised from action to be able to move forward. And of course, holding your breath is not good for you. It's not good for anybody, and nor is this shallow breathing. We need to breathe. And we need to take time out, and we need to breathe. And when I say that, I'm talking about inhaling deeply, 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 deeply into your lungs. And exhaling out all of it, all of it, because using your breath this way, slowly and deliberately, will help you release toxic gases out of your body. It calms your mind and it gets the oxygen flowing, because our breath is what keeps us alive. It is our life. It's our life source. So just a word of caution, if you are using masks right now, your body will naturally have a tendency to take shallow breaths. Naturally, because that's what it's going to do, because you've got something covering you. So just make sure, guys, that you're not wearing them all the time. Take the breaks. Just wear it when it's totally necessary, if that's what you feel you need to do. If you feel you need to wear that mask, just do it when it's needed. I've seen people walking down the street in fresh air, chatting to their mates. What is that all about? It will naturally make you breathe shallow. And we need to breathe in oxygen to survive. What we've also done, guys, is for the past 5 months, we've been spending a lot of time indoors, haven't we? And everything we've done is about familiarity. Right? It's about familiarity. And you've attached yourself, we would have attached ourselves back to our families, wouldn't we? And our bubbles, you know. And this familiarity, we've become so attached to it and to the surroundings now that we've put ourselves in. We've created a false sense of security. It's literally an illusion of safety. Because safety doesn't come from being indoors. Safety doesn't come from someone else telling you to be safe. A true sense of safety comes from within you, inside of you. When you are truly, truly connected, so that you have a heightened awareness, sense of awareness, and you are truly connected into your intuition, your sixth sense. Yeah? It's at that point when you can progress, because you process information differently. You act differently. If you are making decisions and choices because you fear, you will make very different choices and decisions than if you make them when you feel safe and strong and true to who you are. Because it comes from your gut. It comes truly from your connection to your mind and your body. And you can only do that if you break the habits that you've been forming over these past 5 months, this false sense of security. You know, you've got to stop giving your power away to other people. Other people can't tell you what's best for you. You know what's best for you. Don't rely on other people to tell you what is best for you. And you can only do that if you take back control of your mind and start censoring what it is you are watching, what it is you are listening to, and start thinking about what it is that you think about, what goes through your mind. Because you need to develop a belief system that supports you to have the quality of life that you're after. And these bubbles that we've stuck ourselves back in are regression. They are regressing you. It's like regression. You see, if you live your life by beliefs that empower you, if you live your life by beliefs that support you, and if you live your life by beliefs that bring love and compassion to you, there's nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear, because you are standing in your own strength. You're standing in your own power. You are shining your light from your inner self, your higher self. So what do you need to do? What do you need to purge right now? What do you need to let go of? What false sense of security have you developed over the past? Well, during this year. Because this truly is a year to get, they call it 2020 vision. And this 2020 vision is not just going to come from all the things that you're learning about that are going on in the world. Yeah? All the trafficking, the child trafficking, the paedophilia rings, the underground tunnels, the 5G, all of that stuff. It is going on. It's going on, right? So it's not true. It's not just about that, getting vision on that. This is about getting vision on where you sit with all of this. Where do you truly sit with all of this? Who are you? You know, what do you stand for? What do you truly stand for? What do you truly, hand on heart, what do you truly stand for? And this isn't about what someone else has told you. This isn't about what the media has told you. This isn't about what you're reading or what you're seeing. Where do you truly sit with all of this? Because your instincts will tell you. When you've got that connection to body, mind, and your instinct, your higher self, your source power, when you've got that true connection, you can stand in your strength. You can stand in your power. And you will stand in your power. Or are you just one of these people that's compromising at the minute just to follow suit? Because that is also a form of suppression. And suppression brings fear. Because you fear being who you truly are. You fear speaking your truth. You fear standing in your own strength from your solar plexus. You fear that. Because you are being suppressed. Because you're compromising. Because you don't want to have the debate. Because you don't want to stand true. Because then you're going to have to shine even brighter. And your good old imposter syndrome, like fear of, fear of success, is going to come stomping in through the brain to telling you, don't do it. Because then you'll truly have to stand in your real power, your real strength. And right now, this year, it is so important that more and more of us start to stand in our own truth and start to take back our power. Because we don't need to live in fear. Fear makes you sick. And you've got nothing to fear by standing in your true strength. There is nothing to fear. Because you're doing it from love. You're doing it from the heart. When your brain and your heart are connected, you're doing it for the right reasons. Don't keep giving your power away. Take it back. Take it back. And when you do take it back, you won't feel like you're wading through treacle anymore. You won't, because you'll be able to cut through that like a hot knife on butter. Because the rest of it to you is just going to be nonsensical rubbish. And you will follow a path. The path that is right for you as an individual. And this is the year to do it. This is the year to really, truly get that connection. Get that connection from your mind, your body, your intuition, your heart. Get that connection and find out who you are. It is so important. So important. I cannot express how important it is. Because you will lose your mind if you get caught up in the treacle of everything that's happening, because it doesn't seem like there's any rhyme or reason to it. It's just bombarding, more information. This is happening, celebrity this. It's coming in thick and fast. It all will come out in the wash, so to speak, and you will join the dots. We will all join the dots. But you've got to do it from yourself. You've got to do it from your head connection, your heart and your intuition. You must do it from that space, because otherwise you are just following a crowd. You are following a crowd and you're not being true to yourself. Thank you for listening, guys. Thank you for joining me. For those of you that have joined me, it's beautiful that you have. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. I love you all. I truly do. I truly do love you all, guys. And I really want and hope that, you know, you shine. Just keep shining. Shine, shine, shine so brightly. Shine so brightly that we just knock any darkness off this planet. It's so important that we do that from our truth. Our truth. Now have a fantastic day, beautiful people. And I will look at the comments afterwards and I will come back to you. But on that note, thank you. Take care. Take care of yourself. Bye now.